Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new series that I thought that I would do. And this is how Germany could have won World War II, because they did have a chance. Now, I'm not trying to promote neo-Nazis, because, they're horrible people, okay? But anyway, just putting that out there, okay? So, white supremacists. But anyway, yeah. I'm just going to be talking about how close Germany was to winning World War II. If the crazy leader really wasn't crazy. Okay, this will most likely be multiple parts. If not, this is the only episode, obviously. But anyway, yeah. Basically, you might be thinking, well, what? It's obvious. They should have just never gone to war. And to that I say, you're kinda correct, but also, here's how they could have, how World War II could have never happened. Hitler could have never rose to power, but because, let's say this for alternate history. Germany, okay, and this is how the Nazis could have not rose to power. Germany leaves the Central Powers and goes into the Entry Alliance. Okay? And the Entry take down, the Hungarians and the Italians, and I'm pretty sure the Ottomans, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, yeah, they do that, and then, they, well, obviously, since, Germany would have so much land already, and, East Prussia wouldn't be separated from Germany, and Germany would have all this new land, there wouldn't be any, Hitler's, main goals of making Germany greater wouldn't be very much followed. But also, this also leads into the alternate history of the Soviet Union. Because the Soviet Union, you gotta realize, the Soviet Union only happened because World War I was such a flop for Russia. But in this alternate history, most likely since Germany and Russia would be in the same alliance, the World War I wouldn't be such a flop for Russia, and Lenin would most likely still be in Finland, and, communism wouldn't take such a rise, and also fascism wouldn't take such a rise. And, yeah. So, yeah, that's how it could have happened in the first place. Another way, however, let's just say that Germany, until Germany, stayed in the Central Powers and, basically had the same history as modern day. Now, what it would need to do is, this is how it would need to take over the world. It would have to stay, Germany would have had to stay in the pact that it had with the Soviet Union. Because if it stayed in the pact with the Soviet Union, it could, keep some troops on the border just in case, but also it could send a lot of its troops over to, Britain and Ireland, taking them over, which, as you all hopefully know, Britain was the stepping stone for the US to make the D-Day invasion. Without Britain, there's no D-Day. So, if Germany takes over Britain and Ireland, then Germany would most likely, keep, the Atlantic thing that they had in our timeline. But now they could, send their troops up to the border with the Soviet Union and break the treaty. Or the pact. Yeah, it was the Nazi Soviet pact, yeah. They could break that pact and they would actually, it would be a very similar march into into the Soviet Union as in our timeline. But since, they really wouldn't have much to worry about on, the East Coast, this march would be way bigger, okay? And most likely it would take over the Nazis would most likely take over the Soviet capital. Now, since they would be taking over the capital, it wouldn't be too much later until the Soviet Union fell to the Nazis. And this would show every other country that communism, it would be a slap in the face to communism. And would, make, all pro-democracy nations a little worried. And, most likely the Allies would somewhat survive, but they wouldn't be as powerful, since now fascism had the entire territory of the Soviet Union on their hands. Which, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Good thing we're not in that world. But anyway, yeah. And most likely, after that, they would take over, the Americas, and that would be the end and the beginning of the 1,000 Years realm or Reich, depending on what you want to call it. But also, you gotta realize that the Nazis, okay, this is something really interesting. The Nazis were creating their own space program, okay? That's why in the Apollo missions, the American government hired a lot of Nazis because they were already developing a space program, so you might as well, hire somebody who's has already been doing what you want to have happen. But the Nazis were making, a space program so that they could create a death ray. Okay, yeah. Very, James Bond stuff. But anyway, yeah. So they did that, so they would do that, and their plan was to fry very important cities in America. Thus, distracting the Americans. Thus, allowing the Nazis to just pile in to America, and then, they would take all the other North and South American countries, and the world would be fascist. And, after the 1,000 Years Reich, who knows what would happen? Because that's what it's supposed to be, 1,000 years under the Reich. Who knows what would happen after that? Because who knows? Maybe after 1,000 years, Germany would give all the countries it took their independence. We really don't know because we aren't living in that world. But anyway, yeah. This has been Puggalicious. So long. Hi, this is Puggalicious, the king of Pagalia. And I just want to let you know to subscribe. Like the video, hit that bell, and, follow me on Facebook, do whatever you want, yeah, You can tell I'm a pretty relaxed king, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so long, yeah, goodbye.